It's a bittersweet moment when I go to start a new journal. Having to move on from something I've been super intimate with over the last year kind of makes me sad. But if there's one thing I've learned from journaling that also applies to life, it's that you just gotta be okay with screwing up and or moving on. I know you guys just want to get straight to the setup, but before we even go there, I want to address something that can absolutely ruin an entire journaling experience. I've seen countless comments on other journaling videos where people express their deep struggles with this, whether they're a journaling noob or a longtime veteran. Usually people are just there looking for inspiration, but they end up in a wormhole that oftentimes creates and feeds into this idea of a perfect journal, which can make you feel shitty and anxious before even starting.
Hey friends, welcome back. Today I am so excited to set up my brand new bullet journal for 2024. It is a thing of beauty, and hopefully what I create inside it lives up to the expectations set by the outside. So without further ado, let's hop right in and start setting up these threads for the new year. There's no way I can get my journal to look even half as good as that.
That's the function of this monthly log. And I also use the empty space at the bottom of the calendar for a note section for me to write down important notes for the month. And I guess that's it for my monthly log for January.
I'll admit, I still struggle with perfection and things can spiral pretty quickly. This is why I love that the first page of this journal is labeled Intentions. It's a nice reminder to take a moment to think about the purpose of even having a journal. Intentions are about a way of being, like being patient or positive, or like I mentioned earlier, being okay with screwing up and or moving on. Making mistakes in my journal has helped me detach from being a perfectionist. And I've learned that when I don't set my intentions on starting something new, it gives perfection more paralyzing power. So now I'm just hopeful that whatever happens is going to be better than before, and at the very least, I'm going to learn something new. Okay, so I have some pretty exciting news. For my third journal, I wanted to symbolize change, which is why I decided to switch things up and go with the green 23. And in a seemingly serendipitous way, the bullet journal team itself actually gifted me this journal along with these fine-ass minimal writing utensils. I already know this journal is going to hold a ton of life-changing memories, so for the annual setup or the future log, I went with the original layout suggested by writer Carol, but I really liked having a calendar here in my previous setup, so I'm keeping that. Based on previous setups, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to enjoy having this space to freely note important events without having to cram, especially when things fall on the same day. Then I plan to circle the eventful days to give me a general sense of how much is already planned in a month or a week when looking ahead. Pro tip: make sure you are looking at next year's calendar and not the previous year's calendar. For this journal, I'm deciding to put my major collections and lists in the way front. These are things that I'll know I'll be referring to throughout the year and build on my intentions. I have a book list for learning and relaxation, a movie list for creative inspiration, and a shopping list to practice delayed gratification. I kept this section pretty limited on purpose to help me be more of a creator and less of a consumer. Additionally, I've decided to start a YouTube collection which has been created to alleviate my customized brain dump spread that's coming up later. It's pretty much just a bunch of exploratory tasks, potential projects, and ideas and things to help me sort out what's essential to my YouTube mission or contributes to my goals, which are on the next pages. I've made 4 sections over 2 pages with the intention of coming here to revise and check in every 3 months. Obviously, this setup is super simple with just 2 lines, but the more complex part are the goals themselves. The monthly overview is something that I set up every month, along with my daily spread and the aforementioned brain dump. It has the habit tracker on the side with the first column showing my consistency with doing anything YouTube related, represented by a dot, and a number to count how many times I've worked out and eaten out, and another dot as evidence that I've taken my supplement for the day. Then I have the days listed, with the right side reserved for gratitude logging. On this page, I keep goals for the month, which are usually broken down tasks that contribute to larger goals in my collection. This is where I have my reflection prompts, thoughts, and a space for whatever I want, which has lately been quotes. The daily spread is the same, just a calendar created using these guide marks at the bottom and inner side of the journal, which is easily my favorite feature in this journal for saving time. Each box has the date at the top and on the right, a period tracker for both me and Abby. This has been pretty insightful for planning because it takes our potential mood and energy levels into account. This bottom section down here is used to jot down events that give a summary of the month so I can look back and reminisce on what happened at a glance. Okay, so I'm about to demonstrate one of the key reasons why I love using a blank bullet journal and the benefits of keeping things simple. This section is where I unload all the tasks and things I need to do, want to do, should do, and whatever to do's all at once. After that, I categorize them into want to do's and don't want to do's, and then that's split into urgent and not urgent. To me, urgent means that it has an actual deadline or it becomes more stressful with the passage of time, like tasks related to saving a dying plant. Oh yeah, we got a really bad case of spider mites. All right, everybody back up. Everyone clear, charging. The problem was, I was gallivanting through life and only coming to the sheet when I wanted to add something to it, which was essentially turning me into a to-do hoarder. So a subtle change I'm going to experiment with is putting this between the monthly spread and the daily spread. In theory, having this in the middle where I'm going to flip by it every day will remind me to actually transfer worthy tasks onto my calendar as highlights, or even better, eliminate them as unworthy time suckers, thus potentially reducing the buildup of stress caused by either guilt or procrastination. Just burn the whole plant. It's over. Should this experiment work, I'll have displayed how patience and keeping things simple makes it easier to recognize when things aren't working because there's fewer moving parts. This setup is the culmination of years of experiments and subtle changes to optimize new additions to my journal that were slowly added over time, or removed and left behind. And even though none of this stuff is perfect, these tiny tweaks have compounded towards my ultimate intention for starting a journal: healthy improvement. If you want to see the very first time I shared my bullet journal to compare it to now, start here. TTYL. I'm here, what's the problem? Good God, spider mites. How the fuck am I a doctor?